Okay, so we're going to look at something really basic here, and that is to return the last inserted ID. So if we go over to our database table, we have this ID field here. Now if we go over to the structure, we know that this is auto increment. So when we insert a new record in here with a new title, the ID will auto increment. If we head over to the operations tab, you can see that the auto increment is currently on 20. That makes sense because we've got 19 as the last. So the next result will be 20, the one after that will be 21, 22, etc. So I'm sure you already knew that, but with PDO, as part of the PDO class, you can use the last insert ID method, and that will return the last inserted ID of the last query run. So let's go ahead and just perform a quick query to insert a new record into this database. So I'm going to use DB, which is my PDO class, and I'm going to just query straight up. I'm not going to prepare anything. So I'm going to insert into articles, and that will be articles.title that I want to fill in. Now the value of that, I'm just going to do PDO tutorial. Okay, so here we go. When this is inserted, it will create a record at, with an ID of 20. But what we can do now is, let's just say we wanted to insert a record into a table and then redirect the user to their post. Let's just say this was part of a user operation of posting a value, filling in the user's title, the body, and then you wanted it to redirect to that post. Well, we can go ahead and do that. We could use a header, and we could say location post.php ID equals, and then what we can do is we can directly use the PDO object, and we can use the last insert ID method, and that's it. That will redirect the user to post.php ID equals, and then this will return 20. So obviously we haven't taken any precautions here for SQL injection and anything like that, because we're just hard coding everything in by example. But now if we hit enter, you'll see that has redirected me to post.php ID equals 20, and here in articles we have PDO tutorial with an ID of 20. So why do we use this? Well, this just ties us down, frees us from the restraints of things like MySQL insert ID, which does exactly the same thing, but only when you're using the MySQL function set like MySQL query and stuff like that. So last insert ID, remember, comes from the PDO object and not from the PDO statement object that's returned when we query and things like that. So this will just grab the last inserted ID from the last executed query, either by doing this or preparing and then using the execute method.